Hey Gen Mex, welcome to Cerritos Beach, Baja California Sur, Mexico. We are going to be talking in this video about real estate here in Cerritos Beach. This is a very hot area right now. Lots of people buying property, lots of construction going on, and just a gorgeous beach. This is the only swimmable beach in the area around Todos Santos, and it's also a very good surf destination. So my realtor of choice here in Cerritos Beach is Kelly Hepburn, and she has an office right here on the beach. She's going to be our tour guide today, and she's also going to share a little bit of her story about how she ended up here.
I'm Kelly with Selling Sir Real Estate, and welcome to Cerritos.
Kelly is going to share her story of moving to Cerritos, and also she's going to show us a number of different properties in Cerritos and kind of take us around the town here and let you know how much things cost and what you can expect, things like that. But this is a really cool town, really building up just outside Todos Santos. So let's get a kind of an overview of Cerritos.
Here is an actual physical map, if you all know what those are anymore. I'm just going to show you a few places where we'll be visiting today. We are right here. Everyone who's been to Cerritos knows that the yellow Hacienda is the anchor of this beach. And that was built in 2008. So it's really recognizable. Actually, it's a beautiful hacienda. It was built as a single family home with the intention to use as a place to have friends and family stay. It did turn into a hotel for a little while, but that's our icon of Cerritos. So today we'll be going to see some new construction just within a 5 to 10 minute walk of the beach. And then we'll check out some great little casita bungalows in Pescadero that are amidst these farmland areas, which is really beautiful. And then we'll finish up the day at a really luxurious property right on the cliffs of behind the Cerritos Hacienda at the Cove.
Cerritos is just outside Todos Santos, about 15 minutes, like I said, and also right next door to Pescadero. And I've got another video from about 4 years ago, so the pricing is really out of date, but you can check out that video that tours Cerritos and Pescadero, so you'll also see what it looked like 4 years ago. That'll be up in the upper corner. But let's go ahead and get that tour.
When I first came to Cerritos in my van from Colorado, I parked in this campground parking lot. And at the time, none of these beach restaurants were here. So you basically could wake up in the morning, open your door, and walk right out to the beach. So things are changing, but it's also nice to get a breakfast burrito when I get here in the morning too. So right here, actually, we are selling studio units for $200,000. They're obviously steps from the beach, pretty simple units, but there's a nice pool and bar up top. So I did have to purchase a 4x4 vehicle, but it gets me to where I need to go.
Yeah, we have a Subaru Outback, which does pretty well, but having a real 4x4 that can go into low gear is the best situation, especially when you have like a beach that you're going down.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is just the upstairs of the development with the units for $200,000. Great views, which is what people really want.
A lot of construction going on up here.
So much. It's almost like every day there's something popping up. And that's a tope. I forget about topes.
Topes are speed bumps, but they can be any size.
Yes, and come without warning. Yeah, when I first got here and was starting working in real estate, I just had my large Sprinter van. So,
oh wow, yeah.
I had to pick roads that my van could handle, but this thing takes shortcuts well.
And that is something about Cerritos, is it is 100% unpaved. So it's something, it's definitely has a beach vibe, but I noticed when I was talking with people in the Cabo area that they very much are proud of their paved roads, and that everything in Cabo is paved, or most things in Cabo are paved. So it's a very different vibe than Cabo, which is just an hour away.
Yeah, it definitely adds to the character of Cerritos, but we typically have to get our suspension repaired often over here.
So this is the area we're going to end up in at the end of this tour, right?
Correct. We just passed the Cove, and by far it has the best views, best amenities, I would say, in all of Cerritos. This road is not for the faint of heart, but it has the most scenic route that we can take to get to Pescadero from Cerritos. Oh.
You might be able to get around it.
Let's find out.
Hopefully you'll be able to make a 5-point turn if you can't.
We should be fine.
It'll make for good video if you have to make a 5-point turn.
Okay. I think we're
Oh
good
wow,
though.
look at this thing. So that's like condos?
Yeah,
Okay.
easy. This is why you buy Toyotas down in Mexico.
Yep. We've got a Toyota RAV4, so.
Insert Toyota plug here.
Yes.
If Toyota wants to sponsor me, I would not be opposed. But amazing whale watching from up here, you just can't beat it. And when we have our busy whale season, it's typically between December and March. You'll see hundreds of whales passing by, breaching, playing. It's pretty cool.
This is an interesting house here.
Yes, it's actually an Airbnb,
Oh.
so you can stay there. But all along the coast, there's hiking trails too, so that's accessible to the public for now, which I really enjoy. So we are going to go into low gear. All right. So this is Gavilon. It is obviously just over the hill from Cerritos, just a less than 5-minute drive. A lot of people have quads or side-by-sides, so they just rip over this hill and get to the beach. But all along that stretch, that is San Pedrito Beach. There's another surf point at the north end, which a little bit more advanced surfing than at Cerritos.
And is that a swimmable beach?
No, Cerritos is still the only swimmable beach here in this area. And people even come up from Cabo to enjoy the beach, but it's not void of rip currents, so we still tell people to, swim with caution, but it is technically the only swimmable beach in the area. Back to neutral. Okay.
Yeah, the beaches of Todos Santos are definitely, the ones nearest our house are definitely not swimmable or even surfable. That the tide or the waves hit right at the beach, and yeah, there's some fishermen fishing from the shore, but you can't play in the water. You can look at it. It's beautiful.
And I think that's what the lure to Cerritos is that you can surf, you can swim, you can, there are those beach amenities, umbrellas, chairs, so you can really relax and just hang out at the beach all day. So a lot of locals go there on Sundays, and that's what I love about Mexico is that people really dedicate Sundays for not working and just spending time with friends and family, and typically at the beach.
Yes, although Mexico is a Catholic country, I've found that the churches are not that full on Sundays, but the Oxxos are. The Oxxos being like a 7-Eleven and where you get your beer before you go to the beach.
Totally.
And everyone puts their their plastic chairs strapped to the top of their car and their coolers, and loads up the whole family and just spends the day at the beach, maybe a shade structure or something like that. But Sunday is definitely family day, and definitely in this area, beach day.
Totally. Yeah, I actually drive to Todos to go to church. So, yeah.
You are one of those churchgoers.
I am. And I think that's one of the things that helped me decide to move here. I just had instant community between people that I met at the beach or in the van, van lifing in the parking lots. And community is something that I felt was something that expanded pretty quickly once I moved here. And yeah, we're actually trying to start a surfers church in Cerritos. So just like barefoot, come as you are, board shorts, out of the water if you want, and yeah, different vibe. But I think yeah, it's a great place to have close community.
Mm-hmm.
Some people even say their church is the water when they're out surfing. So why not combine it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's. Oh wait, are we getting close to our next?
In a couple minutes.
Okay. Well, let's do a quick some background on you. Hear your story while we drive, or while you drive, and I sit here and hold a camera. So, yeah, what drove you down here?
Well, I had bought a van thinking my van would drive me down here, but that van I named after my mom ended up having a lot of mechanical problems. So her name was Nan, the van, short for Nancy, and my mom had passed away when I was younger, and she had a very, very adventurous spirit. So she'd always be taking us on road trips, my sister and I, quick vacations, spontaneous trips in the car. So I thought that was an appropriate name for my van. But Nan, when I first bought her, had other plans. And she spent more time on tow trucks than she did on the pavement. So when I was initially preparing for my first trip to Baja in 2022, driving down, that is, last minute she decided that she wasn't coming with me. So I hopped in a friend's van and made the first trek down the Baja Peninsula in a friend's van with his dog and my dog. So.
And what were you doing before this move to Mexico?
So I've been in real estate for about 15 years. I was working for a developer in Breckenridge, Colorado, a ski resort town in the Rockies. And just during the COVID years, I started to burn out. I was burning the candle at both ends, just working for developers, selling regular residential. All the people were flocking to the mountains to escape the restrictions during COVID. And I was busy. And after a couple years of just doing that, I just got burnt out. And that's where Mexico came into the picture. So I came down here for the first time in 2021 for a quick weekend trip to the San Jose side, just north of Cabo. And I met a couple guys who took me to the East Cape. And I didn't surf at the time. And I was like, sure, I'll come with you. I'll just lay at the beach, because all I needed was to recharge, just lay in the sand and get warm and before heading back to Colorado. And I just fell in love with the East Cape. It was so restorative just being there for the one day that I just knew I had to come back. And so that's what sparked the idea to buy a van and come back initially. So over the last few years, I've come down every winter, a couple times in between with my church from Breckenridge, who's ironically, the first time I ever went to this church in Breckenridge, the yellow Hacienda was on the screen, and I was thousands of miles away from that place, and I had just camped there, and I was like, what is the connection here? But they had been coming down for a couple years and planned to, create community here as well. So I just felt like all of these signs were leading me back here. And so this past year, I drove down in, probably last December. And by February, I closed on land that I had put an offer on almost a year prior. And right after my land closed, I just decided I wasn't going to leave. And I started the whole process of getting my residency, my work permit. And so now I'm a year past that, and I have just renewed my 3-year temporary residency permit. And yeah, just plan on being here for a while. Casa Hygge. There are 14 bungalows in this little micro boutique community. A lot of people that have purchased here don't live here full time, but they have a home away from home to go to. If they come down a couple weeks a year, maybe sometimes in the spring, sometimes in the winter, the way this property is managed is that it's pretty effortless, that when you're here, you get to use it, and when you're gone, it's rented out for other people to enjoy.
And are the rentals individual, like you rent out your own place, or is there kind of a management office that will rent it for you?
The developer actually has their own rental management company, and they make it pretty easy for owners to just opt in, or if they don't want to, they can certainly manage it on their own.
Nice. So there's a little parking lot out front, and then everything is walking into the community.
Yep. So there's 14 bungalows, and then the amenities, the common areas, are right in the center. So there's a fire pit, hammocks to just relax.
Nice pool.
And then there's a community room with a pool table, media center. There's a gym on the roof as well. This is a rooftop of one of the bungalows. So each owner gets their own private terrace. As you can see, surrounded by farmlands. Then we have the ocean just to the west. So beautiful ocean views. You can hear the birds chirping, the laborers' music. But it's a really peaceful place. And then we have mountain views over that way. So we're going to check out one of the units, one of the bungalows inside, but we'll just talk about a little bit about the pricing of each and what they rent for. So each individual unit, we just had one go under contract for $230,000 US. And if you're interested in renting this property, they go for about $150 per night. So it's not a typical hotel stay. You actually get to immerse yourself and use the amenities. It's really kind of a nice boutique retreat. So now we're inside one of the bungalows at Casa Hygge. As you can see, you have everything that you need. These are really bright studios, so you get the light of the day throughout the day. You have a built-in bed, so you don't really need any furnishings to bring in. They all come completely equipped. The countertop as well is built in. You have a beautiful spa-inspired bathroom. And then what's nice about this is that your living space just opens up to the outside as well. So my client's unit just went under contract. Within a week, we were able to get a contract in place, which is really great because this was her first investment in the area. And now she's able to turn that equity that she built over the last couple years and put it into a bigger property. So there are other entry-level properties that you can get into in the Cerritos and Pescadero area, whether that's buying land or 2-bedroom condos in the same $200,000 range. So there's basically something for everyone.
Yes, there is something for everyone here. We're going to take the price point up just a little bit and look at a condo next that is pre-construction or is under construction right now. So if you've got a little bit more money and are looking for something a little bit bigger, that's what we're heading to next.
Now we are heading to another new development called Ciudad Cerritos. It's a quick drive or even a short walk to the beach. So we were just at a property that was $230,000, and here you get a little bit more space, but it is in the $359,000 to $500,000 range. For those that got in early on this project, they were able to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit for $299,000 US dollars. Now they're up to $350,000, and as we get closer to completion, the prices will go up. And we only have 3 more units in this development available now. We have 2 2-bedroom units available at $359,000 and $459,000, and then we have a penthouse, 1 penthouse left at $500,000. So you get the same floor plan as the 2 bedrooms plus an additional 2nd level rooftop space. Here we are in a 2-bedroom unit, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath. This is one of the units that one of our clients was able to get for $300,000. So pre-construction, although it can be
Keep going.
Okay. Pre-construction can seem intimidating, but that's why it's good to just reach out to a realtor. We know the ins and outs of the projects and a lot of the developers in the area, and our goal is to protect your investment. So there's different ways around that when you're buying pre-construction, working with an escrow company to take your deposits, knowing the timelines for payments and things like that. We just help along the way. So new construction doesn't have to be intimidating. It can actually be a way to build equity and build your investment dollars that you spend in Mexico. So in this unit, our clients really wanted to see more of the view from the primary bedroom. So they requested, because they were at the early stage of construction, they were able to get this modification approved to add these 2 windows. And I think it makes a world of difference.
I trust these guys.
I mean, they're walking across it, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe that way. Just another day in the life. We risk our lives as realtors.
And YouTube creators.
Yes. So this is the last available penthouse. So we're on the 2nd level. So each penthouse owner gets their entire rooftop space. There's a kitchen area, a bathroom. You can add a hot tub or an enclosed area just to kind of hang out up here and enjoy the views. This is our last penthouse in the whole development, and it's available for $500,000. You get about 1,000 square foot of living space and then the entire rooftop space as well. This development was approved for 3 stories plus the rooftop. Since then, zoning has changed and the max is 2 floors. So you're not gonna ever be able to beat this view. On site, owners can enjoy lounging at the pool, and there also will be a poolside bar and grill to enjoy. As we head to our final property, I can just chat a little bit about purchasing land. In Cerritos proper, closer to the beach or on the ocean front, lots can range $500,000 to $1 million, but as you get row by row towards the highway, the price decreases, and there's some really great deals right now. I've helped some RV families that have made it. We get RV families from all over the country and Canada that come down in the winter, and for some reason, this place just draws people in and then they don't want to leave. So I've helped a couple RV families purchase a 2,000 square meter lot, anywhere from 70,000 US to 150,000 US. And yeah, other people turn those lots into RV parks, and they just start building community, and then those people return, and then they want to buy lots. So there's a lot of opportunity here. Even if you don't have the budget to build yourself, you can just bring your RV down, park it on your lot, and call this your winter home.
Well, that brings up a good question, and that is about utilities. So what about water? What about electricity? What about internet?
Here in Cerritos, everyone gets their water trucked in. So people will buy cisterns, much like this container, for their property, and they'll either bury them or enclose them within the cinder block construction. And so yes, and they also have to build septic tanks, since there's no public services in that regard either in Cerritos. Each property owner just needs to build their own septic system. And there are a lot of areas in Cerritos now that CFE is our local electric provider, that there is electricity available to most of these lots in Cerritos. But if you're wanting to boondonk it, you can still have your solar panels and be completely off grid and still be okay here.
So one of my subscribers was asking specifically about internet, so let's find out about that.
There's a couple options for internet here. There's a local service provider that's expanding the fiber optic network, but it's just best to check with each property or development to see what they offer. Starlink is the most popular option.
Just to compare, over in Todos Santos, we do not have fiber at our house. We have Starlink, and it works really well. And we do have city water, but we are on a septic tank over there.
I think it's just a really special place that within a year, I was able to go from the campground to living here full time and having a job and integrating in the community. Have a lot of really wonderful friends. I get to see a lot of friends at the beach every single day. And, living in Mexico, I never thought would be in my cards, but I'm so happy I landed here. We're now at the Cove at Cerritos. There are units here that are 2-bedroom units, and then there's penthouses as well. Along with their amenity package, they have bocce ball, a putting green, there's a hot tub and pool area that just feels like you're at a resort, but this can also be home. So here's one of the owner lounges. A lot of the people in the Cove have become friends over the years, and so a lot of times people will just come down here at 4 o'clock, pour themselves a drink, and enjoy happy hour as the sun starts to set. They have incredible views here all year round of wonderful sunsets, so it's a great community space. And we're going to go check out one of the 2 bedrooms. So this one has a wonderful indoor-outdoor living setup. So you have your own garden with incredible ocean views. You cannot beat these views. This, in my opinion, is one of the best in Cerritos. What I love about Mexico is that a lot of times the dining areas are going to be outside, so you can enjoy the nice weather, but this one has a nice indoor-outdoor open concept eating and dining space. So this particular unit has beautiful marble finishings, backsplash, Got our waterfall countertops as well. This is our assistant Duke. This is the secondary bedroom. A lot of beautiful built-in closets in this particular unit. We don't see a lot of closets in Mexico, so built-ins are a definite plus. Come on, Duke. Here we have the primary bedroom. Lots of built-ins in this unit as well, and a beautiful primary suite. Right off the kitchen, we have another bathroom, easy for guests to use. There's also extra bathrooms and showers by the amenities, by the pool area, so people don't have to come back inside your unit to rinse up.
So this here is the last unit that you're going to see in this video. Today we've taken you from the low 200s over to the mid 300s to 500s. Here in the 800, 900,000, all the way up to close to $2 million if you're talking about a penthouse, a 3-bedroom penthouse in this same development here. Depending on your budget, there's something you can find in Cerritos Beach. And of course, Kelly's contact information will be down below, so you can get in touch with her if you're interested in purchasing something over here, and of course tell her that I'm the one who sent you. So I've got lots more videos from the Cerritos Todos Santos area. Those videos, those interviews with folks is going to be up here, so you can check out those videos next. Otherwise, something YouTube thinks is perfect just for you down there. So from Cerritos Beach, hasta luego.